Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Once the new year starts, across India, people will be celebrating harvest festivals, and in Tamil Nadu it is known as Pongal. To me, preparing elaborate meals on festival days like Pongal can be quite tiring. But to make the whole process enjoyable and not overwhelming, I planned everything ahead. And in today's video, I have shared 2 meal ideas for which I have used my Idly steamer, and I got huge response from you guys for my previous video on Idly steamer, and I'm really thankful. Plus, I got numerous requests to post more videos on steaming, so I'll definitely try to come up with more healthy, fun and creative ideas. And in today's video, I have also shared many easy tips and tricks to make the festive thali preparation even easy for the beginners. Come now, let's dive into the video. For cooking meals, a certain order has to be followed. First, soaking pulses and rice, then chopping vegetables. Next comes grinding, like grinding soaked pulses, then grinding roasted spices for gravy and grinding coconut cumin chilli paste, then steaming vegetables and pressure cooking rice and dal. Then tempering and mixing cooked veggies for poriyal, varval and kotu. And for the gravy, mixing the prepared paste powder dal together with tempering. Finally, I'll go for the sweets and fried savories. So for the first meal, after soaking the pulses and rice, I started chopping the veggies. I planned for 2 side dishes, bean stir fry with crumbled lentils, that is parapusali, and roasted yam, that is sene varval. After I washed the beans thoroughly, I started chopping it. Today, except for the rice, I'm going to steam everything. Sometimes the fresh yam can cause severe itchiness, hence to avoid it, I have worn hand gloves. The skin can be pretty thick, so I used a knife to remove it. Then I diced them into small even cubes. And I'm going to prepare a curd based curry to accompany the rice called as more kulambu. Usually the vegetables added to the more kulambu are ash gourd, lady's finger and sometimes even steamed lentil balls. But this time I'm going to add bottle gourd along with steamed lentil balls. Next, I'm preparing the lentil mix for the bean stir fry. To make this, I'm grinding soaked chana dal and tur dal with 2 red dried chilies, hing and salt to taste. Then I spreaded them on a greased plate. Here I used coconut oil for greasing. In the bottom vessel, I'm going to boil the diced yam along with 2 cups of water. Above this, I am going to stack the cut beans and bottle gourd in a dokla plate and the grinded lentil mix in idiyappam plate. The steam from the boiling yam will cook the veggies kept above. To control the foam, I am adding a few drops of oil. Always choose dokla plate instead of idiyappam or idli plate while stocking water-based veggies like bottle gourd, rich gourd, ash gourd and chow chow so that the water released from it will be retained inside and will not mix with the other veggies. Next, I have grinded the soaked chana dal along with dried red chilies and a piece of ginger and cumin seeds. I am shaping it into small balls like this. Spraying with some oil and keeping it on the top plate. Then for the sweet, I am going to make Poli. Usual stuffing for the Poli is coconut jaggery mixture or chana dal jaggery mixture. Here I am trying it with grated carrot and dates. I am steaming 1 grated carrot along with 5 dates in a cup. After 10 minutes, I am checking every item. And only bottle gourd is done. And the rest of the items are half done. So I am going to continue steaming for another 10 minutes. I am draining the water from the yam completely using a strainer. Next, I am going to dry roast the above ingredients for the more kulambu. To a spoon of coconut oil, I am adding 2 green chilli and 2 stalks of curry leaves and sauteing it for 30 seconds. Followed by dhania, roasted chana dal, rice and 2 dried red chilli and sauteed for 2 minutes. Finally, I switched off the flame and transferred all the ingredients to the mixer grinder and added the cumin to the hot pan and sauteed for 10 seconds. Once it's cooled down, I added quarter cup of coconut chunks and ground it into a very smooth paste by adding little water. Next, I am going to marinate the yam with 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of dhania powder, turmeric, hing and salt to taste. In the end, sprinkle some rice flour and let it to sit for a few minutes, and in the meanwhile, I am going to prepare the bean stir fry. To 2 teaspoons of oil, I am adding 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 2 teaspoons of urad dal and 1 stalk curry leaves. Once it starts to splutter, I am adding the steamed beans and stir fried it for 10 seconds. Then I crumbled and added the steamed lentil mix and gave a nice mix and then switched off the flame. Bean stir fry is ready. After rinsing this bottom pan, I am going to roast yam in it. Once the pan is heated, I am adding the marinated yam to it with a teaspoon of oil. Again sprinkling some oil on top of it. I roasted the yam until it turned to a nice golden brown color. To avoid over browning, I reduced the flame to low. First batch of yam is done. Now roasting the second batch of yam. To make the more kulambu, I have taken 1½ cup of curd. To this I am adding a teaspoon of turmeric, salt and quarter teaspoon of hing and beating it well. To the pan I added 1 spoon of coconut oil, mustard seeds, fenugreek seeds, curry leaves and steamed bottle gourd. Sauteed for 10 seconds and added the ground paste and adjusted the consistency by adding some water. Next I am adding the beaten curd and mixing it well. Then to this I am adding the steamed lentil balls, that is paruppu urundai. Gave a nice mix, and when the oil started to separate, I switched off the flame. The more kulambu is done. Next, for the sweet poli, I grinded the steamed carrot and dates together. I am using this pigeon turbo manual chopper to prepare the dough. Before adding wheat flour, I am greasing the processor by sprinkling some oil. Then I added 1 cup of wheat flour, half teaspoon of turmeric and salt to taste. Quarter cup water with a teaspoon of ghee. Then I added water little by little until all the dough comes together. And to this stuffing I am adding quarter teaspoon of cardamom powder and mixing it well. Then using this roti presser I am going to press the boli. I took a small portion of dough and stuffed it with carrot dates mixture. Then I placed it in between 2 pieces of greased banana leaves in a roti presser, and for greasing I used ghee. After pressing them gently, I am removing the top banana leaf carefully. Then I am placing the boli on a heated tawa and carefully removing the other banana leaf. And I cook both sides by drizzling some ghee on top. For 1 cup of wheat flour, I got 3 number of poli. Now it's time to serve all the dishes. A very simple festival thali is ready. In Tamil Nadu, this thali is usually prepared on the day of Bogi. The next one I am going to prepare is Pongal special thali. First, as usual, I started by soaking all the necessary ingredients. But before that, I am dry roasting the red rice and then giving a single pulse in mixer grinder. The rice is broken into 1 or 2 pieces roughly. Then for half cup of rice, I'm adding quarter cup of moong dal. Then I soaked them, and also I soaked half a cup of tur dal for Pongal special sambar. Then for Paayasam, I'm soaking half cup of javarsi. Then for Kosmali salad, I'm soaking 1 tablespoon of moong dal, and I've soaked 120 grams of Urad dal for vadai. Next, I'm going to roast the masala powder for the sambar. I have taken the above ingredients and dry roasted them for 2 minutes until golden brown. Then I grinded them into fine powder by adding a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder. Next, I started chopping vegetables for sambar. I have taken a total of 7 country veggies: bottle gourd, broad beans, yam, raw banana, sweet potato, yellow pumpkin, and dried field beans. I diced all of them into uniform cubes. Then I soaked the field beans in hot water. Then for the side dish, I'm going to prepare broad beans groundnut stir fry, and I've chopped the broad beans very finely. Then I finely minced the cabbage for Kosmali salad. Then in the bottom pan of Idly steamer, I'm boiling the water first and then adding the diced veggies for the sambar. Then I'm stacking a idiyappam plate and placing the broad beans and groundnut along with soaked javarsi in a cup. Then I stacked the idli plate above and placed the cabbage in the middle. Next, I placed a tomato, chilli and crushed garlic for rasam in a small cup. Then I placed the thinly sliced pumpkin pieces for the kootu and soaked moong dal for Kosmali salad. Then using my 3-liter cooker, I'm going to pressure cook field beans and tur dal for the sambar. To the tur dal, I added a tomato, green chilli, 2 garlic pods, turmeric powder, hing and salt to taste. Then sprinkle some oil on top to prevent it from overflowing. I cooked this for 7 whistles in high flame and 10 minutes in low flame. Then after 15 minutes, I checked the steamer. Javarsi is done, broad beans are done and groundnuts are done. Then I poked all the vegetables with a knife to check whether they are cooked. I drained it with a strainer and used the water later for sambar. The top plate needs to be steamed for some more time, so I kept them for 7 more minutes. My husband taught my son to break open the groundnuts and he had a blast tasting it. Using this stackable separator, I am going to pressure cook rice and the red rice dal mixture for sweet pongal. Cook them for 3 whistles in high flame and 5 minutes in low flame. I'll show you the easy method to break open the coconut. First, I removed the fiber and washed it once. Here we can easily spot 3 lines on the outer shell. I'm using this coconut scraper to break open it. I'm striking exactly on the line. I made 3 strikes on each line along the equator of the coconut. And I cracked it and then collected the water. Then I struck some more times to break open it into 2 halves. When I was just 10 years old, I learned this trick from my paternal grandmother. I'll be adding this for broad bean stir fry and pumpkin kootu. Next, I'll start preparing 4 side dishes. To the tempering, I added the steamed broad beans, groundnuts and gave a stir fry for 10 seconds. And then I added coconut chilli, cumin paste to it and gave a nice mix and stir fried for 30 seconds. Broad beans groundnut stir fry is ready. Next, I diced the raw banana into small cubes. To the tempering, I tossed the raw banana cubes and added the above masala along with salt to taste. After mixing it well, I splashed some water and covered and cooked it for 3 minutes. In the meanwhile, I diced the pumpkin after peeling the skin off. Next, for the pumpkin kota, I prepared a paste by grinding the above ingredients. I added some water to make the paste very smooth. Before cooking each recipe, I rinsed the bottom pan every time. Then to the tempering, I added the pumpkin and stir-fried for 10 seconds. Then I added the ground paste along with half cup of water. Covered and cooked it for a minute. Next, for the cabbage kosumalli salad, I added half a grated carrot, steamed moong dal and tempering. Then I squeezed a quarter lemon and mixed everything well together. Then for the sambar, I started with the tempering. Then added the steamed veggies and gave a stir fry for 10 seconds. Then added the boiled dal and cooked field beans followed by the ground masala powder. Gave everything a nice mix, adjusted the consistency with the reserved vegetable boiled water. Also I added some tamarind water. Then I checked the salt and allowed it to boil for 3 minutes and then finally garnished it with some chopped coriander. I gently mashed the red rice and dal mixture with the back of the spoon. Then I tempered some cashews, dried grapes in a tablespoon of ghee. Once the grape swells like a balloon, I added the boiled rice and dal and then added half cup of jaggery powder and mixed it well until the jaggery is completely dissolved. Then I added a teaspoon of cardamom powder and gave a nice mix. Red rice sweet pongal is ready. Preparing milk Paayasam in the milk cooker made my job very easy as I need not keep an eye on it while it's cooking. To 1 cup milk I added half cup of soaked javarsi along with the above ingredients. The cooker whistles once it's ready. If we want a thicker consistency, we can keep the flame on for some more minutes. And finally I'm adding the tempering to it. Next I'm going to grind the batter for vadai. First I started by greasing the mixer jar with some oil. Then I added the soaked urad dal after draining it completely. To this I added 1 green chilli, 1 red chilli and 1 piece of ginger. Without adding any water, I kept giving a quick pulse until it is grinded into smooth paste. The batter should be sticky, smooth and at the same time the texture should be little bit rough. To this I am adding chopped onion, coriander and curry leaves. I have taken 120 grams of urad dal and it will yield 12 mini vadai or 8 medium size vadai. I am mixing it well. I fried the first 4 vadai in oil and I thought of trying the next 4 in air fryer. First I preheated the oven for 4 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. I started shaping the vadai in a greased banana leaf. I always hate to get my hands messy while shaping each vadai back to back and dropping them in hot kadai. So what I'll do is, first I'll shape all the vadais on a banana leaf in advance and then I'll drop them one by one in hot kadai. This actually makes things so much easier for me, as I need not wash my hands in between again and again. Then I placed a parchment paper and greased it with oil and placed all the vadais. Sprayed some oil and air fried them at 180 degrees Celsius for 8 minutes. Here I have selected the French fry mode. Then I flipped them, sprayed some oil and fried them for another 4 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. They have come out so good and the batter is cooked well inside. Soft at inside and crispy at outside. That's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If yes, give a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comment section. See you all again with another video. Until then, bye. Take care.